HSI is so unfamiliar to most people. I went to an HSI. I didn't know it was at an HSI. Most students don't. I often ask in a room full of people, like, raise your hand if you think you know what an HSI is. And very few people raise their hand, even if they know basically what it is. So why don't we tell students about it, right? Why don't we teach students? Why don't we start to have some more pride, I guess, in HSI? And I even compare it to HBCUs, how we generally all know what HBCUs are. There's been TV shows, movies about HBCUs. How do we get people to start acknowledging and embracing HSI? And how do we go beyond the federal designation? Because the federal designation is where most of us stop. It's a federal designation. It's 25% Hispanic enrolling, 50% low income, period. And so how do we go beyond it? How do we dream? How do we envision better HSI spaces?
So Gina, looking at one of your most recent articles, how can undergraduate students make meaning of the HSI identity? You present in that essay the HSI identity as a way for campuses to consider how we serve, support, empower, and honor our Hispanic, Latinx, and low-income students. When you think about the classroom, what can teachers do to engage in the question of what it means to be an HSI?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think in the classroom, we could just make it an assignment. I've told folks before, why don't you, think of a way to engage students in the meaning making? For example, if you teach communications, have them come up with a communications plan of how the institution can share its HSI identity, or public relations, or how coming up with a public relations plan. I even talk about first year experience courses. They often have a focus or a topical area. So HSI could be a topical area, and asking students to do some of that meaning making. I think we really just need to start acknowledging it, even in our syllabus, saying, this is a Hispanic Serving Institution, acknowledging the land in which we're operating on, and the HSI status can be in your syllabus. Nobody ever said that they couldn't be in the syllabus.
So Gina, you've written 2 books and another one's coming out in January focusing on HSIs. You are an HSI alum and you're passionate about this. Why do you feel this kind of thinking is so important for our current and future students?
I think the research is pretty strong that students, and particularly students of color and Latino students, Hispanic students, throughout their educational careers are often told they're not worthy, or that they're made to feel that they're not academically capable, that because of their ethnicity, or because of their skin color, or because of their language, if they know multiple languages, English is their second language, that they don't have the capacity to learn at the same level. So what if HSIs became the space where we disrupted that? That when you walk in the door, we believe in your knowledge, we believe in your culture. Multiple languages are welcome here, right? I'm going to learn with you, you're going to learn with me, sort of approach. I think it is really just a matter of us starting to be a little bit more intentional.
Gina, thank you. To learn more about Dr. Garcia's research and explore other innovative practices for equitable teaching and learning, please join us for this year's PimaOnline Educators Conference.